In a quaint village nestled amidst rolling hills and lush forests, there lived a wise old owl named Orin. He perched high atop a towering oak tree, his keen eyes surveying the land below. Orin was known far and wide for his wisdom and insight, and the animals of the forest often sought his counsel. One crisp autumn evening, as the golden hues of sunset painted the sky, a young fox named Fiona approached Orin's tree. Her fur was ruffled, and her eyes held a hint of sadness. "Ah, Fiona, what brings you here on this beautiful evening?" Orin greeted her with a gentle hoot. Fiona sighed, settling down at the base of the tree. "Orin, I come seeking guidance. I've made a terrible mistake, and I don't know how to make amends." Orin listened intently as Fiona recounted her tale. She had been playing near the river with her friends when she stumbled upon a nest of fragile eggs. Without thinking, she had knocked the nest over, shattering the eggs inside. When the mother bird returned, she was heartbroken to find her precious eggs destroyed. Tears welled up in Fiona's eyes as she finished her story. "I didn't mean to hurt anyone, Orin. I was just curious. But now I've caused so much pain, and I don't know how to make it right." Orin nodded sympathetically, his feathers ruffling in the breeze. "Forgiveness is a powerful thing, Fiona. But it must be earned through actions, not words alone. You must seek out the mother bird and ask for her forgiveness, and then you must show her that you are truly sorry." Determined to make amends, Fiona set out into the forest in search of the mother bird. It wasn't long before she found her, perched sadly on a branch near the riverbank. Fiona approached her timidly, her heart pounding in her chest. "I'm so sorry," she said softly, her voice trembling. "I didn't mean to harm your eggs. I was thoughtless and foolish, and I deeply regret what I've done." The mother bird regarded Fiona with a mixture of sadness and suspicion. "You have caused me great pain," she said, her voice tinged with sorrow. "But I can see that you are truly sorry. Perhaps there is a way for us to move past this." Together, Fiona and the mother bird worked to rebuild the nest, fashioning it from twigs and leaves they gathered from the forest floor. With each twig placed carefully in its rightful spot, Fiona felt a sense of healing wash over her. It was as if with each act of kindness, the echoes of her mistake grew fainter, replaced by the promise of forgiveness. As they worked, other animals from the forest began to gather around, drawn by the sight of Fiona and the mother bird working together. They watched in awe as the nest took shape once more, a symbol of hope and reconciliation. When the nest was finally complete, Fiona stepped back to admire their handiwork. The mother bird fluttered down to inspect it, her eyes shining with gratitude. "It's beautiful," she said softly. "Thank you, Fiona, for helping me rebuild what was lost. And thank you for showing me that even the greatest mistakes can be forgiven." With a flutter of her wings, the mother bird settled into her newly restored nest, her heart lighter than it had been in days. And as Fiona watched her soar into the sky, she felt a sense of peace settle over her own heart. The animals of the forest watched in wonder as Fiona and the mother bird demonstrated the power of forgiveness. Inspired by their example, they began to look for ways to mend their own past mistakes, reaching out to one another with open hearts and outstretched paws. And high atop his perch in the towering oak tree, Orin the wise old owl watched over them all, his eyes shining with pride. For in the echoes of forgiveness, he saw the promise of a brighter tomorrow, where kindness and compassion reigned supreme. The following morning, the creatures of Evergreen awoke with a renewed sense of unity and understanding. The tale of echoes of forgiveness had left a profound impact on each of them, prompting reflections on their own lives and relationships. As they went about their daily routines, they found themselves extending gestures of kindness and forgiveness to one another. The once tense atmosphere in the village began to dissolve, replaced by an aura of harmony and compassion. The story of Leo, the lion who had embarked on a journey of redemption, served as a guiding light for the inhabitants of Evergreen. They realized that forgiveness was not only a gift to others but also a liberating force for themselves. By letting go of grudges and resentment, they could free their hearts from the burden of anger and bitterness. In the days that followed, the creatures of Evergreen came together to celebrate their newfound sense of unity. They organized feasts and gatherings, where stories of forgiveness and reconciliation were shared among them. Bonds were strengthened, and friendships were forged, creating a community bound by empathy and understanding. As word of Evergreen's transformation spread, travelers from distant lands began to visit the village, drawn by its reputation as a beacon of forgiveness. They marveled at the harmony that existed among the creatures and sought to learn from their example. Through their actions and words, the inhabitants of Evergreen inspired others to embrace forgiveness in their own lives. The echoes of their kindness rippled outward, touching the hearts of countless beings across the land. And so, the village of Evergreen became known not only for its lush forests and diverse inhabitants but also for its unwavering commitment to forgiveness and reconciliation. It stood as a testament to the power of compassion to heal wounds and unite even the most divided of souls. As Orion watched over the village from his perch in the trees, he felt a sense of pride knowing that his tale had sparked a transformation that would endure for generations to come. And as the sun set over Evergreen, casting golden hues across the landscape, the echoes of forgiveness continued to resonate, weaving a tapestry of hope and redemption for all who crossed its path. As the seasons passed, the echoes of forgiveness continued to reverberate through the village of Evergreen, strengthening the bonds of friendship and understanding among its inhabitants. With each passing day, new challenges arose, but the creatures of Evergreen faced them with resilience and compassion, guided by the lessons learned from Leo's journey and Orion's wisdom. In times of conflict or disagreement, the villagers turned to the principles of forgiveness and reconciliation, seeking to understand one another's perspectives and find common ground. Through open communication and empathy, they resolved conflicts peacefully, nurturing a culture of harmony and cooperation. As the village flourished, it became a beacon of hope for neighboring communities, many of which were plagued by discord and strife. Inspired by Evergreen's example, they too began to embrace forgiveness as a path to healing and unity, and soon, the echoes of forgiveness spread far and wide, touching the lives of beings across the land. Visitors from distant lands traveled to Evergreen, eager to witness the remarkable transformation that had taken place within its borders. They marveled at the sight of creatures of all kinds living together in peace and harmony, united by their shared commitment to forgiveness and understanding. Among the visitors was a weary traveler named Serena, who had journeyed far and wide in search of redemption for past mistakes. Haunted by regret and guilt, she had almost lost hope of ever finding forgiveness for the pain she had caused. But as Serena wandered through the village of Evergreen, she felt a glimmer of hope stirring within her heart. The kindness and compassion she witnessed among its inhabitants touched her deeply, filling her with a renewed sense of purpose. Determined to turn her life around, Serena sought out Orion, the wise old owl whose tales had inspired the transformation of Evergreen. With tears in her eyes, she poured out her story, confessing her past mistakes and expressing her desire for forgiveness. Orion listened intently, his wise eyes full of empathy and understanding. He shared words of encouragement and guidance, assuring Serena that forgiveness was within her reach if she was willing to seek it with an open heart. Inspired by Orion's words, Serena set out on a journey of her own, seeking forgiveness from those she had wronged and striving to make amends for her past actions. Along the way, she encountered challenges and obstacles, but she faced them with courage and determination, knowing that the path to redemption was worth the effort. As Serena traveled, she carried with her the lessons of forgiveness and compassion she had learned from the villagers of Evergreen. With each step, she felt lighter, as the weight of her past mistakes began to lift from her shoulders. And though her journey was far from easy, Serena knew that as long as she remained true to the principles of forgiveness and understanding, she would eventually find the peace and redemption she sought. As the echoes of forgiveness continued to resonate through the land, Serena's journey served as a reminder that no matter how dark our past may be, there is always a path to redemption for those who are willing to seek it with humility and sincerity. And so, as the sun set over the village of Evergreen, casting a warm glow across its peaceful landscape, the creatures who called it home gathered around a crackling fire, sharing stories of forgiveness and hope, and welcoming Serena into their midst with open hearts and open arms.